Okay, check that out. That's awesome. Client got that for me yesterday. It's great, thank you. All right, here we go. So I've got the first question here, and this question, it's from Sam. Hi, I have to share that I love your videos and blog. It's great to have a professional who is sharing insight and information. Thank you. For us kitty lovers, having such a source is so critical, especially if dealing with a health issue. Absolutely agreed. It's important that people get together, like-minded people get together and talk. So Sam asks, I have a kitty dealing with feline hyperesthesia syndrome. She's been diagnosed by a process of elimination. A neurologist ruled out seizures or back spinal issues or diseases. Our local vet ruled out any parasites and such. Not much seems to help her, but time and no stressful events. That's a clue. Anytime we go to the vet or have a lot of company, episodes start. Episodes involve back twitching, excessive licking of the legs and paws, and sometimes her back. Sometimes she will bite the tail and look at it as if it hurts. I was wondering if you might have any suggestions on this issue. Thanks so much, Sam. Feline hyperesthesia. They're sitting there, minding their own business, and then all of a sudden, they start attacking that part of their body. An attack could be literally bite, chew, pull fur. So for Sam's cat, the back twitching, looking at her tail like it's some foreign object that wants to attack her and she's gonna attack it first, licking the hind end, all that stuff, fairly common with how cats present with hyperesthesia. But hyperesthesia can be misdiagnosed rather easily. Here's why. Let me read this recent paper for you here. This is 2016 Diagnostic investigation in 13 cats suspected with feline hyperesthesia syndrome. 13 cats were included in the study. 11 cats were attacking or overgrooming their tails. 2 cats, their flank or perianal area, that area around their butt. Tail mutilation was reported in 9 out of 13 cats. Rippling of the skin was going on in 10 out of 13 cats. And then they were vocalizing in a weird way. That's the other thing that they saw for these kitties. These episodes could happen multiple times per day in 12 out of 13 of these kitties, and multiple times a week. No consistent triggers were reported. So the things that caused it for some cats were totally different, or triggers were different for other cats in there. Results of blood work were available for 12 out of 13 of the cats, spinal radiographs for most of them, and then MRIs were done for about half. CFS taps were done for 3 out of the 13, and then we've got EMG studies, skin studies, joint fluid analysis. I mean, some of these cats have gone through extensive workups. The diagnostic workup led to the diagnosis of allergic dermatitis in 2 cases and immune-mediated polyarthritis in 1 case. So already for this group of 13 cats with hyperesthesia, 3 in that group, they actually found a definitive problem that wasn't hyperesthesia. It presented as hyperesthesia, but it wasn't. But a definitive diagnosis was not reached in the remaining 10 cases. Treatments included steroids, gabapentin, clomipramine, Topamax, phenobarb, cyclosporin. The majority of the cases, 10 out of 13, received a combination of more than 2 drugs. It is a Indiana Jones style, like the first one. You walk in, you do an expedition, you might, for some folks, you do a couple of jumps, a couple of pivots, you find that answer. It's that golden idol. You've figured it out. There's your solution. That was the cause. And for other people, you achieve something. You went through a process, you learned something about your cat, which is this golden idol. But then really the adventure is just about to begin, and it's going to reveal itself as time goes on. But here's how I would think about it in my mind. If your cat is in overt pain and attacking itself every single day, making wounds on itself, like this is an emergency, and at that point, I don't care what the underlying cause is, I'm going to medicate. I'm going to control for infection. I'm going to control for pain. I'm going to just willingly do this, knowing that as I'm sorting out the underlying issue, we have to protect the quality of life of this pet. We have to protect the relationship. But what about the long term? Finding out those answers. That's an expedition. That's a journey. Like let's read a bit from one of the papers here. Treat any underlying cause of hyperesthesia. If the activity is thought to be due to a food allergy, try a hypoallergenic diet or a novel protein diet. I wish it was as simple as simply switching out a food. That's only going to be true for a very, very small proportion of cats. If flea allergy is involved, eliminate fleas on the cat and in the household and use steroids if necessary. Oh my God, I absolutely wish I saw more hyperesthesia coming from fleas. When I worked in Vancouver Island, I'd actually see a little bit of that because we would see fleas out there 24/7. But the ability to clear out fleas, I mean, it's a drop of a medication. It's doing some cleanup where your kitty lives at home and stuff like that. Like, oh, I wish feline hyperesthesia was just a flea thing, but again, for a lot of the cases that I see, it's a small percentage that is that. I wish it was that easy. If the activity is thought to be some form of seizure activity, phenobarb can be tried. So if pain is a recognized trigger, then appropriate medications can be instituted to control that pain. If it's a behavioral disorder, then you're selecting certain serotonergic drugs, basically. If it's related to an extension of otitis media or alterna, like a specific type of infection in your body, or meningoencephalitis, then start the appropriate antibiotics. Supplements may improve signs of inclusion body myositis. So this is like a muscular issue, basically. It's another cause of it, and there's certain supplements that can be used for that. So as you can see, as you're working through this, there are different things that can be tried, and in most cats, it was more than one thing. Now, what about in Sam's cat? For Sam, she's noted that there is a trigger, a stress, something going on with the environment. Okay, that's not a bad thing, because the environment, basically where we live, the things that come to us, how we react to things that happen in our world, to a certain extent, that can be controlled. And if things can't be avoided, then there are ways to modify. And so this, again, is just another expedition. So what do you need if you're a kitty cat and your environment sometimes triggers you to have episodes? Do you need compression therapy sometimes, aka thunder shirt? Do you need things where you can redirect your behavior when other stresses happen? And a stress, by the way, when we think of stress, we think of it as a bad thing, but anything, any change physiologically can be is interpreted by your adrenals as a stress. So good things and bad things. So do you need to have your mind distracted? Is there certain things in your home that you can have, what vets would call enrichment, that would help you out? Is this playing? Is this like a toy? Is this like one of those big like hamster wheels for a cat? Is this like a fishing rod toy? Like it's infinite. It's infinite of where you can put your cat's psychology. Is it a different type of way that we are feeding them? Cats are hunters. They're supposed to be traveling around your home and picking up food in different spots. Now, a lot of cats, seemingly don't care about that, but oh my goodness, when problems happen, it's one of the first things I might go to, simply because we've got to activate that psychology. We've got to get them back, get their mind in a place that can help them, that can direct their activity, that can reduce stress and anxiety for them, that can fulfill an innate desire and need that they have. Are there certain tones, music, scents, pheromones? So there's a lot of things that can come together. Does your cat need vertical space? Do they have enough vantage points? Like there's a lot of things in their world environmentally that can be tried. For some cats, it's going to be this. I know I'm going to have people over. When I have people over, my cat is going to damage that tail. The day before people come over, I get my chill pill. Right? I get my chill pill. I need something to help me with my stress, because if it manifests in hyperesthesia, I'm going to damage myself. The pain system in your cat is complex. There are neurotransmitters, there is a spinal thalamic tract, we have nociceptors, we have a cerebral cortex, we have a orchestration of a number of systems in their body, and sometimes the right coordinated approach with certain medications can help those cats. If I had a client with hyperesthesia, we thought it was coming from pain, we'd definitely be talking about these approaches. Getting creative with the solution, making definitely reasonable assumptions based in the literature, okay? Based with some evidence behind it. So I hope that helps, and let us know how things go with your kitty with hyperesthesia. And I'm really hoping that, whether it's now, whether it's the sequel, or whether it's the third Indiana Jones movie, like you eventually find what is the solution for your cat. Okay, good luck.